live.
World renowned. Holla, holla.
Peace. Welcome to the Real HD Show, the higher discussion. I'm your host, Vic. And this is the show that you're going to find on these or any other airways where we fight the good, the bad, the ugly of our culture, and we heal it with freedom music. Freedom music, freedom music. Freedom music happens from 7:30 to 8 o'clock most times that we do the Real HD Show, where we give you all that good R&B, R&B, jazz, soul, hip hop, rock and roll, all kinds of stuff to put a battery in your back, keep you motivated so you can be the most progressive that you can be out here in the Estados Unidos and all over the diaspora. Peace to y'all. We are rocking on 5 Facebook channels right now. We are rocking on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, like the kids like to say it. D Live, Trovo Nation, Mob Crush. We are everywhere you want to be. We are the Real HD Show. We're even on Fanbase. So check us out. Check our replays out on Fanbase to get all the Real HD Show that you can stand. But let's pay some bills right quick. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to the show. Make sure you comment and turn on all your notifications so that every time we have a Real HD Show, you too can tap in with us and have a higher discussion. TPE, Total Package Energy, waters, juices, teas, zips, everything to help you with the second half of your day, keep a battery in your back, keep you going, and keep you moving strong. All melanated company, Olympic tested people approved, Total Package Energy. Redeem vacations. Make sure you bring 5 people to the Real HD Show, courtesy of yourself, and you will receive a gift certificate to a 4-day, 3-night stay at a United States destination near you. Also, Be Healthy Fresh Food Markets. Make sure you got 4 stores all over Rochester, New York. If you're ever in the Rock and you want them smoothies, those teas, those wraps, the fruit salads, the groceries, anything you need for speed, go to Be Healthy Fresh Food Markets. Go to Emotep Negus. Tell them the Real HD Show sent you. And then we got Bats Footwear all the way from the NOLA. Revolutionary Soul Technology. They're a cross between Hirachis and Vans. They are there to keep your knees healthy, your shins healthy, your legs healthy, take them aches and pains away while giving you a stylish feel. Check out Bats Footwear all the way from the NOLA. Also, my homie is on right now, so we know we got to big up her shop, Black House, for all your art and cultural needs. That's right, go to 190 Monroe Avenue, second floor, Rochester, New York. She got all your art and cultural needs there. Go spend your money. Go spend it silly with Black House. That's right. And we have a dynamite interview on for you right now. So let's get right to it. We haven't done this segment in so freaking long. And I'm so happy that we could do it tonight. This is called the Diaspora Co-op Shop in the spirit of Ujima and Ujama Cooperative Economics. We're going to get into it tonight on the Real HD Show. Here we go.
You are about to enter the manifestation of a family cipher. Self-actualize and realize, do what you got to do. If you can see it, you can be it. Manifest, it's up to you. Everybody self-actualize and realize, do what you got to do. If you can see it.
Welcome to the Real HD Show. We have Jazz on with us tonight. Peace, sis. How you doing? Welcome to the Real HD Show.
Peace, family. Thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here tonight.
Yeah, very excited to have you on. Um, and I will let you introduce your wares, and we'll share the screen and pull up your stuff, and we will get it popping like we haven't done it before right on the show. So tell them a little bit about what's going on with you, what type of merchant you are, and then we'll get into some other things as we progress.
All right. Well, I'm Justina Featherstone. I'm the owner of Jazz Essence Candle Co. I specialize in dessert style candles. So I make candles that look like real blueberry pies and real strawberry cupcakes. I also do make candles that come in your typical jars that you see in the store. So that's my brand and my business. And I am so excited to share with you all more about that. I started my journey as an entrepreneur when I was 15. So this was years ago now. I'm 36. So I launched my business as a teenager, and there was so many things that I didn't know that I learned about that I can't wait to share with you guys. But Jazz Essence Candle Co. That is my brand. Mhm.
Fire, fire. So is this a labor of love, or is this a labor of get the bag? Where did this come from for you?
This is a labor of love, let me tell
Mm-hmm.
you, because
Mm-hmm.
Jazz Essence Candle Co. came out of necessity. I needed something to do. I needed a positive outlet that I could express myself creatively, that I could up level my own mental health with the aromatherapy, and that I could also use for a business to work for myself. But it's all love. It's all love all around. Hmm.
All right, we really have a packed house tonight. We have about what, one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Wow, we got like 7, 8 people. We gonna break the internet tonight with this one, y'all. I love it. I love it. And it's a
Yeah.
family affair. So you know what I mean? Peace to brother Godspeed. Peace to sister Frida. We got everybody. We got about 4 or 5 other people in the background ready to get down. So we gonna do just that. Is it time to go to the website, Jazz?
Yes, let's do it. Let's go to the website.
All right, let's go to the website. All right. So somebody has something in their background that sounds like almost like a radio. If you guys could turn that down because it kind of interferes with the broadcast, either a TV or a radio or something. But we're gonna go to the website. We're not gonna waste no time. I'm gonna share my screen and we are gonna check out all
All right.
Jazz wares. Here we go.
So, as an entrepreneur, I had to learn a lot of things about business. And these things I didn't know as a teenager, but I know them now. So, here's my website, which I designed all myself, of Jazz Essence Candle Co. And this is my logo that I made myself. I actually had the boxes; those are gift boxes to the upper right hand corner. Those are lovely. I designed the gift box concept myself and had a company actually print them out for me. Then on the left hand side, we got the beautiful Mother's Day flowers in bloom, stepping into spring, giving that spring energy. And then right below, we have a brand new collection that I am launching. And this is for chakra collection. Okay, I'm giving you all the spring colors, and I'm also giving you healing energy of Reiki with each candle. So each candle is very, very special. Each one is specific to a chakra and a color that matches that chakra and a crystal that matches that chakra. So it's actually given relaxation of actual deep healing and spiritual well-being. So that's something that I'm actually launching. So I'm excited to share that with you guys because y'all are one of the first ones to find out about it. So yeah, that's
Fire. Let's keep going. Let's keep going through it. Here's a
all right.
fantastic picture of you and your wares. Really, really dope.
Thank you. That was during the pandemic when I relaunched my business, and I took some classes and I learned about being a certified candle chef. So I have 10,000 hours of experience making candles that I became a candle chef, making these realistic looking pastries and things like that. So you'll see more of that on the website. But these are my jar candles that I also made back then. Started with that chakra candle there and moved on to making that candle into separate candles. So
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome, awesome. And they say to master anything, you need 10,000 or more hours of repetitious, service in that capacity to master. So you are a candle master right now. You
I
go,
am. I am a candle master. I am a
you
candle.
go, you go. That's fire. That's
That's
fire.
Yes.
right. Ta-dow. Ta-dow.
This
Yes.
to that, right? I wish I had the sound effect. So tell us something about what we're looking at right here with the peaches and look like peach cobbler
Yeah,
out this piece. What we looking at?
exactly. Exactly. So we are looking at a peach cobbler candle tin. This is
Mm,
actually not an actual peach cobbler you can eat, even though I know it looks so realistic and so good. But it is a candle. There are 3 wicks in there that I like to trim them very low because everyone is supposed to keep their wicks trimmed, and that's something that I give a lot of education about candle care and how to burn candles safely, and keeping that wick trimmed, at least every hour on this one, but every 2 hours on the other one is good candle health. So that's the peach cobbler right there, and it smells just like it too.
fire, fire.
Mhm,
Let's keep let's
mhm.
So,
let's keep it going. Right here. What? So which one is this? With
This
the
one
looks
is
like a
the
little bit of
maple.
look like a little bit of waffle and
Yes.
talk to us. Talk to us.
Yeah, that's maple pecan waffle. So you got the waffle, you got the pecans, you got the maple syrup on top. And then I got this lovely whipped wax on top that looks like whipped cream. So it's like so delectable, and that's a bigger 16-ounce one there.
oh yeah.
And
How many calories that candle got?
it's 0 calories, right? That's the best part.
Fire, fire. Let's keep the goodness going. Sacred roots, chakra, crystal candle, grounded strength. Put us on about this. Break this one down for us.
Okay, so this one is about that root chakra. So it's all
Mm-hmm.
about grounding yourself, centering your energy, making sure that you're keeping a connection to Mother Earth, to Mother Gaia. It's really, I like to call it sacred roots because it's something that is so special, something that you need to take care of. So that root chakra will definitely keep you grounded in anything else in life. That's where it starts, in the root. So.
Okay. Okay. We're gonna come back to that because remember I said
Mhm.
I had some questions about sacred oils and sacred scents and all of it. We'll get back to that when we get a little deeper later. All right, let's keep it pushing.
Okay. All
Mother's
right.
Day
So,
gift box. Talk to us.
so that's the Mother's Day gift box right there. That's what's going to come inside of the gift box that I showed you that I designed on the front page. So inside of there is going to come, you're going to get 3 of those, and you're going to get one of the big ones in that gift box. So that's the soy. Everything's made from soy too.
Okay.
Everything's made from soy wax. So it's more economically conscious and environmentally friendly,
Okay.
which is super important these
It
days.
is. It
It
is.
is.
Very colorful,
Mhm.
very pretty. I'm sure the ladies will like it. I might have to patronize for. My mom's not here, but I got a mama who lives with
Mhm.
me.
Mhm. Mhm.
I might have to patronize on behalf of her. All right, here we go. Vanilla gingerbread. Bust this down real
Yes.
quick.
Vanilla gingerbread, that's a bestseller on my TikTok and Instagram. My latest video was showing behind the scenes of how I made this candle. So I actually took you into the nitty-gritty of how I got down when I was making it, making the little gingerbread guys, doing the whipped cream on top. And this one here is a bestseller. So I kept it around for a while because people really like it and keep coming back for more. So that vanilla gingerbread is popping, yeah.
All my peoples on Mob Crush. We already 250 deep on Mob Crush. Celebrate your life out there, Mob Crush. Thank you very much. Y'all make sure y'all keep Vanilla Gingerbread a best seller for my homie Jazz. Let's keep it moving.
Yes.
Coffee shop.
Okay, yes. Then
All
we
right,
got
now
the
we in
very
my
popular.
we in my neck of the woods because I'm a coffee head, admittedly so. Talk to me about this one.
Okay, okay. So yes, this is for every coffee lover that just loves coffee. You love your coffee, I got you. So this is the coffee shop candle. It's given freshly brewed coffee, it's given that little deep mocha kind of flavor to it. Um And then it's got the wax coffee beans on top, so it's giving artisan coffee blend. But
Artisan
it's
coffee. I like that.
yeah,
Fire,
yeah.
fire, fire. So
Mhm.
how long would something like this last? So if I started burning it now, how long will it burn? How long will it last? I know it liquefies and then it solidifies again, but typically how long will it last before I be like, need another one?
So this one will last you 45 hours. It's a 7-ounce candle,
Okay.
and the wick part will burn slightly faster than the rest of it for a little while, but then it'll end up leveling itself out like any other regular candle would after a couple minutes.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Let's keep it. Let's march on.
So
Let's march on. We got happy birthday. Talk to us.
yes, this is the happy birthday sprinkles dessert candle. And as you can see, it has sprinkles on the bottom. So I designed these jars myself with the sprinkles, and everything has been fully tested to the max. So that's one thing I did was I spent a lot of time testing my candles, and that's why my brand ended up being more successful later on, because I took the time that was necessary in order to cultivate my craft. So this is an example of me doing that, and I love these because they can be customized for your birthday. You can get your name on it if you want to. You can just get the happy birthday candle, and give that as it's a great gift, or something for yourself as well. I love that one.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Hey Vic,
Banana cream.
somebody's
What?
trying to get in. Vic, just to let you know, somebody's in the backstage.
Woo, we loaded tonight. We
Yeah.
loaded tonight. I
Woo!
love it. I love it. I love it. We got Rebecca. Let me let everybody know, man. We blasting off to 15 channels right now. We got 7 active. We got Jazz, of course, our honored guest. We got Frida. We got Jazzy from The Rock. Black House is in the building. We got Godspeed. We got Frida. Brother Mozzie is in the building. What happening, bro? We got Jean in the building. Jean or Jean. We got Rebecca. We got who else we got? How do you say your name? Pia? Pia? Pia. Okay. So much love to everybody joining right now. Much love to everybody listening. Everybody ready to dialogue on the Real HD show. Let's go, family. Jazz, continue to
Yes,
talk about
yes.
banana cream pie. What's popping?
Okay, so we got the banana cream pie right here. This one smells exactly how it sounds, and I got the fresh looking banana slices on there, all made of wax. Got the lovely whipped cream wax on top. Then got that nice bright yellow color, and I really like this one because people love it. So do you like it? I love it. So yeah, this is one of the newer additions too.
Okay, great. All right, let's keep moving. Let's keep. Or is that it? Okay, that's it. That's it for the. I guess the loading page
The
of your website.
features, yeah, the featured.
Yeah, yeah, that's your
Mhm.
features. Is there anything that you would like to talk about that you do that we haven't seen on your website so far? And tell the people. And because you seem like a multifaceted person with a lot going on, so we want to let the world know. Shout out to iHeartRadio TV. We're rocking on that. Shout out to 100.9 FM. We're rocking on that. So let's go. Tell the world just how deep and fabulous you are and how deep the fabulousness goes. Talk to us.
So I am multifaceted. I love entrepreneurship, and I love business. So that's a great foundation for anything. But with that being said, I do have plans on launching more of my subscription boxes. So that's going to be like a quarterly thing where you can go ahead, you can get your 2 candles, you could get 1 candle of the month,
Mhm.
and basically have that gift box show up at your door every 3 months or every month or however you like it. So I'm definitely working on that with my subscription boxes. So I'm super excited about that. Also, just being an entrepreneur, I did want to announce something huge. So I have been with the Network for Teaching Entrepreneurship. They were the ones who taught me about entrepreneurship when I was a teenager and got me started with learning and teaching myself about this candle business. Then I went ahead and I learned even more about making candles, that things that I didn't know. I didn't know what I didn't know, but I found out, and then I made it right. And then I got right with my candle business and took the classes I needed to take. Um, but that journey as an entrepreneur actually came back full circle because the now network for teaching entrepreneurship, they offered me a co-work program where I got to be with them for 4 months and learn even deeper levels about doing my business plan over, how to write a business plan, how to pitch your business, different aspects of business like finance and cost of goods sold, and all these things that were more like, some of it was a refresher from when I was a teenager, and some of it was like, okay, this is new information I'm learning and I'm loving it. So my journey with the network for teaching entrepreneurship came full circle, and I was one of 12 contestants on a business plan competition presentation. So these 4 months now paid off, where I was in a competition and I made it to the semifinals where it was down to three. And then I won that competition, and I
Oh,
won a
fire.
grand prize of $5,000 for my business. So I'm super excited and grateful for
We
that.
gotta give
There's
her the
this
fire
really
background, Vic. We gotta give her the fire
Yeah,
background.
let's give us some claps and some fire on that real quick. Awesome, awesome. That is awesome. We love our
thank
peoples
you,
when
thank
they
you,
out
thank
there,
you.
when they out there
That's
doing it
right.
big,
Woo!
when
Walk
they
like
out
a
there doing
champion,
it
talk like a
big.
Yes, more
champion. There we
fire, more
go.
fire, more fire.
Yeah, no doubt.
Black business.
Woo! Yes, yes. So it was a long way coming. It was a long time coming, but everything came full circle, and I'm so blessed with this win, and even had an article published in Yahoo Finance, which was fabulous. And I'm just riding that wave of positivity and good energy, and um, really using it to uplift my business and to start expanding that blessing even further.
Fire, fire.
What
Well,
city are
now
you
we're gonna
operating
now
out of?
open up the floor for any comments, acknowledgments, questions, networkings, because we got two jazzes on right now in the same field, and I know they can make a network connection. We're gonna open up the floor for questions, concerns, comments for Jazz, our featured guest, about her wares and her business, and we'll take it from there. So everybody can turn on it.
What
Make sure you
city?
guys
Mhm.
turn on your mics, and let's get at it.
What's
Let's
what
have a
city
high.
are you operating out of?
What'd you say, brother Milesy?
What city is she operating out of?
So I'm right now in Allentown, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So I'm originally a New Yorker, so I'm from the New York area, and I'll
Yeah.
be around different boroughs, but I'm based in Allentown, PA right now.
Okay. The reason
Hmm.
why I ask if you were local, there's uh, a Center for Urban Entrepreneurship through RIT. They do a pitch competition every year. The winner gets 25,000. Uh,
Ooh, okay.
and I was just in that space where I was working with entrepreneurs,
Hmm.
teaching them all those skills and helping them develop and grow their businesses. So
That's
I know the
amazing.
plight of an entrepreneur, and it's good to see that, especially when you have products to sell, especially homemade products. It's
Hmm.
a rough business and it's a tough business, but it's nice to see that you found your niche and you're making it work for yourself. So that's a good thing to see.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. And education in the entrepreneurship field is so valued, because it can really help a business, to make a way that they didn't know existed before, just have that support. So that's great work that you're doing as well. Thank you.
Anybody else? Anybody got any questions, comments, concerns, networking opportunities for this brilliant young sister?
Jazz is the other Jazz.
Hey
Congratulations.
guys. Yeah, thanks,
Um,
sis.
yes. Just want to say congratulations, and I would love to connect with you offline regarding your product and your brand. and seeing about opportunities and bringing it to Rochester, New York. So I will be in touch.
Absolutely. I love that, Jazz. And you have a boutique, right?
Yes, so Black House Boutique is actually located near downtown Rochester, New York.
Mhm.
It's a Black safe haven and safe space for all artists of all walks, from painters to spoken word singers. We have resin artists. We have nail techs that create art nail clip-ons. We have
Yes.
um, jewelry makers. I mean, all the different aspects of art. So yes, it's just a
Wow.
safe haven for everyone to showcase their work, and be able to expose it to the community, and especially in a demographic area that they may not necessarily have access to elsewhere. So
Mhm.
yes. So I look
All
forward
I
right.
to
love that.
connecting and working with you
Yes,
in
I
the future.
absolutely love that. That's such a beautiful space that you've created, and hopefully, I get to visit in person sometimes. I would love that, but I look forward to connecting with you more.
Definitely look forward to it. And also, Vic, I also put the flyers for some of the upcoming events that we're having this month at Black House. So we'll have coming up is a sip and shop for pop-up events, couple showcases coming up, and we do karaoke and art porn classes and stuff like that. So we got a couple things coming down the pike. You guys can keep an eye out for.
Yeah, yeah. Jazz to Jazz. Both of y'all are dope. Y'all should link. Y'all
Yeah, I
should do
I, I
that. Y'all should
agree.
do that in a real way.
I
Definitely.
definitely
Yep.
agree.
Well,
I'll definitely touch base with you offline.
one of the things that is going on is in June, I'm going to
Hmm.
be doing one of my infamous networking events, and it's
Hmm.
going to be tied to a couple of things: panel discussion, a number of things of that nature, and it may be a possible speaking engagement related to your entrepreneurial journey that may be available here in Rochester. So
Fabulous.
uh, I'll connect with you through Jazz, and
Am I invited?
you know you are. You
Absolutely.
know I'm going to be telling you you need to be down there. So
Absolutely.
All right. I'm
All
a,
right.
Yeah.
I'm I'll be there.
So I know Sister Frida wanted to throw some acknowledgments and say what she needed to say for the show. So the floor is yours, sis. Rock out. You got to turn on your mic.
There we go. I just wanted to say that I'm very proud of you. I'm ecstatic for what I know is going to become more of your journey, and I'm just waiting to see how much more you do with your business, and networking and connecting with the right people to take you to your purpose.
Thank
Very
you
proud
so
of you.
much. That means the world to me. Thank you so much, and
Of course,
I'm excited about the journey as well. And just thank you so much for just supporting me along it.
sure.
Means a lot. Yeah.
And cousin Gene
Anybody?
is on too. Is there's some people that's not on the screen that's hearing voice?
Sister Aurora is
Ah,
on.
Sister
Peace.
Aurora. Hey,
Peace,
big
sis.
sister
How you
Hi, how
doing?
are
Aurora.
you?
Peace.
Good,
Peace.
good. Insist I invite
Hey.
you to post on my Here Comes the Dawn page on Facebook. And,
Okay.
even though you're Philly, it's just great to spread it around because people do
Absolutely.
know how to mail things. They do know how to
Mhm.
order. So please don't limit yourself. Just spread out as much as you can.
That's great advice. Great advice.
And
Hmm.
Sister Aurora owned a bookstore in what was it, Hempstead or Uniondale, sis?
Instead,
Hempstead, Long Island. So you're talking about a sister in business, and I love the fact that we get the intergenerational thing popping. We get the links
yes.
popping. The Real HD show is dope. Let's have a higher discussion. Let's go. So let's have a higher discussion with Jazz right quick with your entrepreneurial spirit. When you do your candle mastery, is there a favorite scent you like to work with? Something that always like you just nice with it. Like if I get this element in my hands, I'm a create a masterpiece. What's up? Talk to us about that.
Hmm. Well, lately that's been a bit of jasmine, I would say, but I have this candle called Good Vibes Only, and it's a bit of lemon, a lemon kind of scent, but it has so many layers of fragrance in it. It just creates its own unique fragrance. And I love custom blending my scents to bring in elements from one plant or one herb to another one and then combining them like sage and timberwood. I really love that one because it's given the clearing energy of sage, but then it's got that grounded kind of earthiness of the timberwood, and I love that. Yeah.
Dope, dope. So when you make your candles, um, do you make them? And we had this talk in the back office of the show before the show started. Do you make your candles with the chakras in mind, and do you make your
Mhm.
candles with the essence of people in mind? I used to study Kupagana and Gumi, which is African martial arts,
Mhm.
and it's a whole spiritual system. And one of the things they would tell you is you have a oil, you have a scent, and you have an entire uh, cosmology that's related to your birthday.
Mhm.
So when you make your candles, do you make them in the purposefulness of attaching them to a particular medicinal purpose or a particular healing purpose or a particular purpose of like aromatherapy and the power of aromatherapy on mental health? What do you think?
I
I know that
definitely
was a
feel like
loaded question. Go ahead.
yeah. It's cool though because I really do tie in so many different elements into making the candles, especially with the chakra collection because it's so intentional. For each chakra is very intentional. So like for the heart chakra, for example, it's about nurturing the heart. So all of the energy that I put into it is for that person to light that candle and feel a connection with their own heart, whether it's their heart opening up to some new possibilities or their heart letting go of some things that they need to let go of. So it does connect into mental health as well and like a higher well-being, a higher state of being. And that's the goal is to achieve that higher elevated state of being in a healthy way. So the candles actually are just the medium to provide that, but they can also be used as a conduit for that energy in oneself to manifest what they're looking to manifest from the candle. So it goes deep. It does go deep, and it is
Fire,
very
fire.
spiritual. Hmm.
So I know Sister Frida and Sister Aurora probably know about this. You got to smut your house, and that's usually when you move into a new residence and you don't know the energy of the people that used to be there, whatever, whatever. You move
Hmm.
into a new environment, you want to smut it out with some sage. Is there a candle? I know you have a sage candle. Are there candles that kind of do that sort of thing? And if not, are you thinking about creating one that may do that for people?
Yes, I do have like the sage and timberwood scent, and that is with the exact purpose of clarifying, of purifying, of saging, of smudging, of giving that essence of that same kind of energy. And right now, I don't put raw sage inside of the candles, but I am looking to incorporate that. Um, I definitely made an intention to say, you know what, for this next one, I'm going to put some herbs in it. So I have tested them with herbs for myself and they burn perfectly fine and they burn just as great, except now they have that extra added element of the sage. So I definitely am looking to create that.
Fire. Love it, love it,
Mhm,
love it.
mhm.
Once again, the floor is open for anyone with questions, comments, concerns, networking, links. Let's do it.
Yes, sis, do you have is your candles in any type of a mold or are they what makes them unique aside from the wonderful smell?
Yes. Well, some of the candles I use molds to make like if I'm making a strawberry candle with chocolate. I'll get these molds that look like real chocolate or real strawberries, and I'll use those silicone molds to make the little fruits in the chocolate. So when I do the whipped cream on top of the candle, then I just go ahead and I add in that strawberry and add in that chocolate, and it gives it like a realistic look to it because of those molds that I use to create that part of it. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Yes. But yeah, I really enjoy the creative process for my own mental health, as I mentioned, like the aromatherapy. While I'm making the candles, I'm getting all the aromatherapy benefits from it. But then I can also use that for the person that is purchasing that candle and using it.
Okay,
Nice.
so we about to go there. You ready to go there?
Yeah,
Let's
let's
go.
go there.
Yes.
All right. So you got some really delectable, sweet smelling candles, and then you got the candles that I know the ladies would love and enjoy and really get into. Where the candles for the fellas? Where we at?
Okay, okay. So I definitely, it's a great question that you asked that because we got to have something for the fellas, right?
Right.
So I usually do, I do make candles for specifically for like Father's Day or just a man's scent. I'll say that I have some scents that I know the fellas would love. I mean, um, I have two scents that I could think of, but one of them is it's a little something something. It's just a very sexy for men. So, get your sexy on, get your feel good on, get your glow
Yeah,
on,
we need all the help we could
light
get.
that
Let's
candle,
go.
got the smell goods going, got the vibes
Mm-hmm.
right. So gotta
Mm-hmm.
set it right for the gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
So I have that scent and I have another scent. It's more of a leathery type of scent. Um
I'm glad you
just gonna,
mentioned that.
yeah, we was gonna put that in the barber shops. But
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
because one of my favorite Tom Ford joints is tobacco and leather, and I was wondering if I've never seen anyone bold enough to dabble in those things with the creative candles.
Yes, I have Tobacco Ode, I believe is the one that I have from Tom Ford, which
Oh,
also smells really good.
you do oud? Okay, dope, dope,
Yes, yes,
dope,
yes. Mm-hmm,
dope,
mm-hmm.
dope. Fire.
But I have smelled that one also with the tobacco, and it is lovely.
So tell the people where they can find you outside of your website. Where your wares, where can they find you? How can they locate you? How can they patronize you?
Okay, so I'm also on Instagram, and that's at Jazz Jazz Essence Esscents, and that's Jazz Essence on Instagram. Jazz Essence Candles on Facebook. And I'm also in a couple of stores locally in the Lehigh Valley area of Pennsylvania. I'm in the,
Hey, Lehigh.
yes,
Shout out to Lehigh.
yes,
Shout out
yes.
to y'all. I got peoples over there. Let's go.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I'm in the Lehigh Valley Mall, and I'm also in my girlfriend Ashley's boutique at So in Love hair salon. So that's where you can find it if you're in that area. You can find my candles in those two stores.
And you
But
can
I'm
find
definitely looking to.
information. You can find information on her candles on the Real HD show too.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you forever link. Let's go. Any other questions, comments, concerns, networking, linking, anything we got going on for the good sister before we move on to some of our critical topics of the day? Brother Luck, you got
Yeah,
something?
I already got some candles I'm going to be buying for my lady, my chosen sister, my
Yeah.
mom. You lined up, cuz don't worry about it. I got you lined up.
Yes,
And
cuz that's what I'm talking about.
I
Appreciate
just
the
want
love.
to say I'm very, very, very proud of you. Very, very proud of you. Very proud of you. And
Thank you
also
so much.
too, Vic. Oh, you're extremely always welcome. Always welcome. And Vic, you know what I was just thinking? It's wild because we have the two jazzes. Hey, yo, what up, Rube? Word. You gotta turn your mic on, Rube.
Big Rue in the building, making a million. What
Yeah.
happening, bro?
Peace, everyone.
Peace and blessings.
Peace.
All right.
Yeah,
Word. Yo,
yeah. I don't know.
thinking is seeing how we have all these female entrepreneurs. Next Women History Month, we should have like a female entrepreneur night.
You know what?
Hmm.
I'm gonna do that because last month
Mhm.
I titled most of my shows "Original Woman History Month" because It's Black History
Absolutely.
Month. It's Women History Month. But we know who's the original sisters out here. Let's stop
That's right.
playing.
Pat out.
So
Pat out.
we're gonna do that every month. Every time there's a Women's History Month, we're gonna call it Original History Month. Original
Yeah.
Women's History Month, and we're gonna celebrate our sisters hardcore. My last question for you is, what's the end game? What does the end game for all of this look like for you? Where would you like to ultimately take your shop, your brand, and your wares? Talk to us.
So I definitely want to continue to scale up and expand the business, expand myself to other stores, expand my subscription boxes where it's more of like a, small business kind of household name in a way. And also I plan on branching out and teaching so I can pass these skills on, to the next generation or to anybody who also wants to become a possible employee in the future, to just have the opportunities for them to be their own boss, for them to, to also basically be a student of the craft. So I'm going to be teaching classes, looking to do that, to start that up virtually. And I want to do some in person, like a wick and pour type of thing, like a wick, like a wick and sit type deal. So
Mhm.
that's what I'm looking at for the future. And
Okay. Sounds great. Sounds great. Rule, you got anything, bro?
You're doing international sales as well?
I haven't started doing international sales yet, but on my SEO for my search engine optimization, I am getting a lot of hits from like Japan and
That's what
all
I'm thinking.
over.
Yeah.
So I definitely need to
'Cause-
consider the steps to open up internationally.
yeah, because Europe is big on all of that type of stuff too. You know.
Hmm. Definitely.
Yeah, that I could see that, and I see Japan because Japan is just big on everything American, but also uh, they love, like, I know the type of stylish candles you make where it looks like food and all of that.
Yep.
They're into a lot of that. They're
Mm.
into, I guess that would be aesthetics of things. The way things look, decor, I guess that's called, or something like that. They're into that big. Um, Vietnam, Vietnam is big on that.
Mhm.
Um,
True.
you know, anything artistic, art wise, that whole side of the world. I would even say look into like Bali as well. Bali would be somewhere else I would target
Yes.
because they're known for their carvings. You know, they sell a lot of. They have a lot of artists out there that deal in the woodwork world with carving. So
Hmm.
they're into stuff like that. They're into art. Because I look at your stuff not just as like candles, but it's art. It's artwork.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, you're taking it to another level. You know, so those types of places. Europe is big in fashion. France. I would look at France
Yes.
too.
I had some orders from France too.
See,
Yeah.
yeah, they're big
Oh,
on
that's
how
awesome.
something looks. And remember,
Hmm.
France is the home of fragrance. We wouldn't even have perfumes. They made it popular.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? So scented candles is right up the alley, and your candles is artwork at the same time. So
So
you
true.
know, double whammy. You know, Africa. When I went Ghana, they're big on art as well. So I would even
Mm.
suggest Ghana.
Okay.
And a lot of Westerners have moved there now. So
Hmm.
you could even look to open a shop there. The money.
Wow, that'd be dope.
Yeah, I mean, the exchange is 4-1, and
Mm.
you know, Accra is a fast moving city. And people are still very artistically inclined there. They still wear a lot of traditional clothing, all of that. So I would look into
Mhm.
that as well. You know,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yes, I
it's
definitely want to broaden my horizons because I
yeah.
know that there's a
South
market for.
Africa is another place, and I
Mhm.
have a homie out there. He has a nail salon store.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, we could probably set something up. You send something over there, and who knows, maybe it catches on through his nail salon store. He's planning on opening another one. You know,
Word.
yeah.
Nice.
So outside of America, anything artistic is a go. If it's selling here, it's times two over anywhere else.
That's a fact.
Yeah, that's how it is. Because the world appreciates things like that more than we do. We've seen it every day. But for them, it's not in abundance the way here it's oversaturated. So it's like
True.
oh, I saw that, oh, I did that, or But once you step out of America, forget about it. Sky's the
That is so
limit.
true, cuz.
Yeah.
That's so true.
So international sales, get that international money. It's
Word.
gonna add up. It's gonna add up.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Don't overstudy the exchange rate. It will add up.
True. True.
And then after a time, you could source the materials right there. In that same country. All the materials you're using here, you could just source it there and then make it there. Cut your costs.
Yep.
Or you can franchise.
Yes.
You have avenues, but look into it. That's what I would say.
Definitely will. I definitely will.
Say that one more time, Brother Mozzie. You kind of came in.
Franchise.
Yeah. Mozzie see the idea. He know where I'm going with it. Yep.
And one of the big hot spots in Africa to sell products would be Kenya. Kenya's has its probably one of the first areas that were not occupied by those other folks that have had malls. Malls have been in they've had modern malls for at least 40 years in Kenya. So, if you're talking about opening up an actual boutique in the mall thing, which is big over there, which, as you know, malls are dying here. You franchise it out, and someone opens up a nice boutique in one of the malls in Kenya.
Wow, yes.
And the other place would be is Rwanda. Believe it or not.
Rwanda's doing very well.
But have you ever thought about telling your story?
Yes, I definitely have thought about that, and that's actually what I believe that got me to the point of winning this competition was, telling my story. But definitely open to expanding and seeing the growth that can come from international sales and doing deals internationally.
Well, if you want to tell your story and put it in a book, let us know. Got a nice small publisher that can make that work for you.
Oh, okay. I definitely have thought about that.
They can help you. They can help you with the writing also.
Oh, great.
Last thing before we move on, the little intro I gave you before we started your interview was the Real HD Show Network's Diaspora Co-op Shop. So what I do is I love to talk to gig economy, small business entrepreneurs, small business people, and develop trailers for their product and develop like little mini vignettes to celebrate what they do.
Okay.
And that's going to be a full show that will be out within the year. I'm trying to get more states involved. Right now, I have Ohio, New York, Alabama, and a couple places in Cali. But I would love a Pennsylvania connect for that. And what that is it's a wear shop for folks who can't really get that advertising awareness out there because it's very expensive in the mass mediums, very expensive. But if you rock with us, we'll put together a vignette for you, and you will be able to. So for Pennsylvania, you said Allentown, right?
Yes.
So we'll put up Allentown. The sphere will spin, and then your trailer will come up, advertising your product for 15 to 30 seconds. And everybody who pays attention to the World Class Co-op Shop will get to see what you do, or your contact information, or your wares, that sort of thing. And then we just go state to state, city to city, advertising whoever has a gig economy product to put out there. If you make great socks in Brooklyn, we're gonna have you on there. If you make the best barbecue chicken in B-More, we got you. If if you in Georgia with the peaches, we rocking with you. You make the best
Okay.
peach cobbler in Georgia, we gonna try to, feature your small business or your gig economy situation. So look out for that coming to you this year. That takes a lot of doing because it's digital and it's visual, so it's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of doing. But that's a labor of love for me, so that our people could get our businesses out there and do what they got to do with this merchandising out this piece. You know what I mean?
For sure. I'm definitely down for that.
Yeah, yeah. Any other questions, comments, or concerns before we jump into the show? Because it is
Yeah,
9.
but sis, could you put your connection in the chat again? Because I want to make sure I got it right. Your IG that you were giving us. Can you
Yes, I
put it in
definitely
the chat?
can.
And yes,
I
and do
will.
look out for the global because when Here Comes the Dawn was open, we had an invitation to go to Abidjan and to look at those differences and to see. Not only did we travel to show that we were the same, but it was a government push from Abidjan for persons in America to come to Africa. And so it was a great experience to be able to go there and to not only see, they want to understand Here Comes the Dawn, which is dedicated Africans working nationally. And so they kind of like picked me up, and, Terry Williams in here sponsored us to go and to show the differences, not only at the barbershops, but in the kitchen. And we had a great entourage that went with us at the time, that they just wanted to show people that we're more the same than we're different. And so the African connection really boosted us, and it's still glowing. And then you always got to tap your family members if you have anyone outside of the United States. Like you're in England, you put this up in your shop here, this.
Yeah.
So we did get some traction from the family members who live around the globe. you know, and they
Is
told
this
someone and so on and so on. So yes, go that way and click, and you'll find it. Just someone tells another person, and you'll end up getting a trip to Africa. So they want to see what you do and how you do it. And that was one of the things that Here Comes the Dawn had an experience with, and it was great.
Wow. Wow. That is
Mhm.
such a gem. Thank you for sharing.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes, we're gonna make sure you rock.
All right now.
all right? So is that the website? That is, did I get it right this time?
Yes, yes, that's the website. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the website, and this is your Instagram, correct?
Yes.
All right, awesome. Great, great, great to hear it. All right, well, like we always do on the show, I know we would be an hour in by now, but let's get into it. Let's do our AAT report, our health report, healthy, wealthy, and wiser for a brand new year. Here we go. Come on. Is it going? Sorry about the delay with the
No
anthem.
sweat. Mm-hmm.
But we're gonna go to a video really quickly,
Yep.
and this is gonna be right up Brother Luck's alley.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad I got so many people on so we could talk about it right now, because this
Mm-hmm.
affects everyone here, not just. This is our Healthy, Wealthy, and Wiser report, our health report, on the show. And we have a couple of things to talk about during this report, but I want to get into this. I want to get into Shasta. Everybody remember Shasta soda when you were younger, right? You go to the little bodega or the little supermarket. They got Shasta all over the place,
Word.
Sunkist, Mountain Dew, all that type of stuff. And we really don't know the origins of these particular brands and what they were purposed for, what they're made of. We just see the 11, 12 letter words on the back of the can, and we have to make a really interesting decision on whether or not this is good for us to ingest or not, give to our kids or not. So let's hear what this brother has to say, and we're going to get and talk about it on the other side. Here we go.
But did you know Shasta was an Indian tribe? I didn't, to be honest with you. To be honest with you, until I found this document, this newspaper clipping from 1892, and it says the 400 Indians on the Grand Ron Reservation originally represented the following tribes: Umpqua, Calabulas, whatever. Oregon City was a tribe. Rogue City, whatever. Cal Creek's tribe. Shastas. Okay? They were talking about intermarrying with YTs or whatever. But without getting into that, it's still Shasta. So I had to go look this up. I was like, Shasta? You know how many Shastas I drank when I was young? You know how many Shastas in college? Especially that green one. I think it was like green apple, but it was like red color on pinkish color. Tastes like candy, like straight candy. I'm sure it was not good for me at all. But Shasta, Mountain, California, named for local native tribe, for whom's name Bright offers no etymology. So they don't have any etymology, but the name of the tribe was called Shasta. That just lets you know they couldn't have got the name from anywhere else other than the tribe, because it has no history. I found this, which is the Shasta Mountain. Looks almost like a big old pyramid.
All right, so we're back. Sorry about that, folks. We are going through it. Brother Luck, are you still with us, bro?
Oh, I'm here. That part right there, huh?
What do you think, man? This is what we were building on a little earlier when we were talking about the show. And I'm not saying this is absolutely correct, but it's on the way to being correct. So please make sure you vet these things. Come back to the Real HD show and tell us what you found out about it. But wouldn't this be something if this actually panned out and was accurate?
Right. Yeah, that would be something. That'd be a whole lot of something.
Uh-huh.
Then we get into the whole the Iroquois tribes or Algonquin tribes, if it turns out to be right and exact. So yeah, there's some vetting to do, because I never heard of the Shasta Indians or natives, or I never heard of them until you brought this up.
Well, they on the western side, so
Mm-hmm.
your studies is more on the eastern side tribes anyway. So because they talking about Oregon, so you already know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to Oregon actually. I was in Seaside, Oregon. I had a girlfriend that used to live in she still lived there in Washington. So they have tons of tribes, out there in the northwest that names that unless you out there you wouldn't even know. Their towns like Puyallup and all of that is named after tribes.
Right.
Yeah. So they wiped out a lot of those people and took their land,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Oregon is a funny place. Funny place. You got to be real careful in Oregon.
You hear what
Looking
Jay
like us.
about Oregon when he was a Portland Trailblazer, right?
Well, Portland is different.
Okay.
See, Portland is mixed company. You're gonna find every nationality in Portland, but you get outside of that.
Yeah.
I don't know. You
for self.
Better be a crack shot with shooting, because
J.R. Ryder, when he was with the Trailblazers, he said Oregon. He said, shoot, when I was on the team bus, I saw somebody hanging from a tree. I was like, what?
Yeah, the Oregon Trail is real.
Nah, say it ain't so, JR. Say it ain't so.
Yeah, I had a situation out there.
Word.
I had my peer situation out there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man. Long story short, my girl at the time, like I say, she's from Seattle, Washington, so she grew up different to me. Out there is very, very different. Her outlook on European culture is different to mine, which was cool. A lot of cool Europeans in Seattle. Funny towns there too. You got to just know where you're going. But we took a trip to Oregon, going to Seaside, and it was a long ride. Actually, in the movie "Are We There Yet?" that's the same path they were on in that entire movie.
Mm-hmm.
Is the path that you got to take to go to Seaside.
Yes.
And Seaside, Oregon has this thing that every year they have a warm front that comes there. So even though it might be cold other places, the water is very warm there. You know, it's a warm front that comes from the north, they say, or whatever, and it meets right there in Seaside. So they have a little weird type weather going on. Long short, we were supposed to meet a family out there. They do a family reunion out there every year. So we drove out there, and there's a town right before Seaside. So my girl got hungry. It was a long ride, you know, probably 3 hours straight from Puyallup. And she wanted to stop off in this town. But I caught the vibes. The vibes told me, keep going. You know, we wasn't that far from Seaside. I was like, yo, why don't you just wait until we get there? We almost there, you know? She's like, oh, I got to get something now. Long short, she found some log cabin diner for us to pull in. It was a trucker's diner, you know? And I know how truckers get down.
Oh, you were straight out of a movie with that one.
Oh, yeah. Lumberjack, plaid
so you
shirt.
see the setup for the wet up. So
Yeah, for sure.
This log diner, this log cabin diner was way in the back because, you know, all the parking is up front, you know, for the trucks and everything. So we go there, we walk in, all the tables were circular tables all throughout the entire diner. Pretty big too. It shocked me because in the front it looks small, but when you go in, it's huge, right? It's shaped like a C. The kitchen is on the right-hand side, and all the tables where everybody eats wraps around that kitchen. So there was tables up front. They put us way down in the back. We all the way in the back. So as we're walking down, everybody stopped eating, and families was just watching us. So I'm just telling my girls, like, see, knew we shouldn't have stopped here. You know, I was like, putting me down in the back. I looked at her, I said, you know, maybe something weird happened in here. I just need you to get out of here. Just find the closest exit, jump through a window, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm ripping and running in here, you know, because I saw the faces. People was eating and they stopped eating. They sit us down. They gave us the menus. I'm looking at the menu and I'm seeing steaks that not medium rare. It says bloody raw. So I'm like, bloody raw steak? That don't sound right.
Sound like they just getting the meat.
I'm vegan, so I'm not even eating nothing there. I told her straight, I said, you know what? You order what you want to order. I'm going to sit right here and I'm going to chill with this water right here. You know, I don't want nothing. You know, they could scrape whatever, all they want. All I know is while she's ordering, they brought out the food to the table to the left of me. It was white bread and some steaks. And when they cut the steak, the blood ran out. And they was sapping the blood that was mixed in the oil with the bread and eating the bread. So sheesh. I was like, yo, is this like a West Coast thing or something? You know? Like, is this Oregon thing or is this like a West Coast thing? You know, like, did you see that, baby? She was like, yeah. I was like,
well, remember
in blood.
Go ahead, Brother Mozzie. What you want to say?
In the Northwest, you still find a lot of your wannabe frontiersmen. And you find a lot of Europeans who want to be off the grid. And you find a lot of your patriot groups / white supremacist Aryan nation groups in the Northwest.
That's absolute. Yep.
The way in which they look at survival, basically it's raw meat and a potato if you can dig it out of the ground, and that's their staple.
Mm.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really they get down out there because it was perfectly normal for them to be sapping up that blood with that Wonder Bread, bro. And when I didn't order anything, I noticed the waitress was feeling a little uneasy, and I told my girl, I said, "Yo, enough is enough. I'm getting up. I'm gonna be in the car."
Mm.
I said,
Yes,
"You can
sir.
leave out with me now, or I'm gonna be in the car."
Mm.
Yes. Yes,
And I
sir.
got
Yes,
up
sir.
and I started to walk, and then she got up and she left out with me. And once again, we got the silent treatment. Walked right up out of there. I was like, "See?" So long short, we reached Seaside, right? So my mom and them was like, "Yo, what took y'all so long? Y'all just said y'all was in Blase Blah. It's only like a 15-minute ride through this town, right?" I said, "Well, Tanika got hungry and we stopped off." And she was like, "Y'all did what?" I was like, "We stopped off in the town." She's like, "Tanika, why did y'all stop when y'all could have come here? We got food waiting for y'all, da da da." Right? Long short, go to a knife store. I'm looking at the knives in there and stuff. I said, because my girl just kept nagging me about the whole stop and how I was extra, right?
Mm.
So I said, "Okay, I'm extra. Your mom had food for us, but I'm extra." Okay. So I asked the store, the guy who owned the knife store. I said, "Excuse me, can I ask you a question?" He's like, "Yeah, what's up?" I said, "Me being who I am
Mm.
and you being who you are,
Mm.
would you had suggest for me to eat in the town before?" He said, "Can I be quite frank with you?" I said, "Please, because my girl thinks that,
I'm extra.
I'm being extra." He said, "I would never advise anybody of your culture to
Mm.
stop in that town before. You're lucky if you did that you got out."
Mm.
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 That whole
Wow.
town is known to be a racist town. That's
That's
what he
one of
told
the
me.
sundown towns. Mm.
Straight up. And when you come into town, you know the town I'm talking about because all the houses on little hills. I was like, look at this. They're using strategy. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying?
Mm.
Because all their houses was on these perfectly created little hills, which probably actually um, bomb shelters, possibly. Because out there they get down like that.
Mm.
It's not
Well, that's where
uncommon, you know.
you're not right next door to the Bundys of the world, who's
Mm.
anti-government. A lot of the patriot groups are very anti-government, things of that nature.
Hmm.
So when they create their domiciles, they always think about how can they defend it. So that's why you got them up on the hill.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. These hills was too perfect to be a natural structure. You know what I'm saying? This was strategically done, and I'm showing her that stuff. But you see, outside of New York, when you go into like the Midwest, when you go to the Northwest and stuff like that, things that we're talking about right now, they look at it like conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
Mm.
You
Yeah.
know what
Mm.
I'm saying?
Sure.
And they look at New Yorkers, especially Black New Yorkers, as being heavily paranoid. They think that we're paranoid with white supremacy. They really think that way.
Yeah.
Like when I was in Seattle, and I'll be talking with her brother, and his whole little crew will be sitting around me because they're in amazement. They're like, "Yo, we never heard information like this before." Like, you know, they're sheltered. They live a different
Hmm.
life. Not a bad life. It's just different. You
Yes,
know,
Mm-hmm.
sir. Yes,
they
sir.
don't have the stresses of the city that we naturally have.
Right.
You know.
So let me circle it back to the beginning clip of the segment. Brother Luck and Brother Mozzie and Sister Frida, I want to get your opinion. Everybody on the panel,
Yeah,
actually.
Rebecca. I see Rebecca in the house.
Yeah, Rebecca chilling.
Oh, true.
Welcome to the show.
What up,
Um,
Rebecca?
what do you guys think about how we're always finding out the tradition of omission with the United States and these products that they want to feed you in these things that they call grocery stores,
Mm-hmm.
that they have some sort of insidious or hidden history that probably would not be good for the people if they knew what they were getting into and the health impact that it would have on them. Sister Frida and Sister Aurora, what do you guys think about that? Why are we always finding out that these products have ulterior motives when we do the science to them and we dig a little deeper? Oh, Frida took off. Anybody could jump on that one, however you like.
You
Oh,
mean as
Rebecca, you
far
gotta
as
take
the
your mic
ones?
off. Rebecca, I think you were saying something. Oh, Frida's
You're
back.
muted. Rebecca.
Hey, oh, you know what, Frida, your mic's on mute.
No, I was saying that Rebecca had a comment, but she said she couldn't really hear. This
Oh,
is her talk
Oh
right here.
yeah,
I
Rebecca's
This
know,
is
mic
I know.
is
this
on.
is Rebecca's talk right here, but she said she can't really hear all
Oh,
of
I'm
what we're
sorry.
saying.
I'm sorry if you can't hear. You know what you can do, Rebecca? You can go out of the stream and come back in, and that should take care of some of your audio or visual issues. But back to the question that we had,
Yeah, yeah.
She
Frida,
said
Once
if
you
you go
come,
back out and come back, it should take care of some of your audio challenges. Okay.
and then her mic is off too. Oh,
yeah, yeah,
I'm now
she'd have to
seeing with
cut
a
it
little
on from
mic.
her side. Well, Sister
Yeah.
Jazz, what do you think? What do you think? And I know that being that you deal with a lot of the elements in your baking and your making, what do you think of the fact that we're always finding out about these, I guess, traditional products that have histories that are very insidious, that are very unhealthy, and that the more we dig in this Aquarius age, the boomerang comes back and we find out the real history of these products that are like household traditional things that we're like, dag, if I'd have known that, I would have never got involved with that product at all. And these are like you know, household staples.
Chemicals. Mm-hmm.
Word. So I'm vegan too. So I look at labels and I'll look at what are these actual ingredients inside of things. But from face value, we just don't know what certain products actually stand for. Like we don't know what's the origins of it or why it was created or what's the real meaning, deeper meaning behind it. Um, I believe that the story of Aunt Jemima was, she was a slave and they glorify, Aunt Jemima's syrup, but what is it? It's high fructose corn syrup.
Mm.
Straight up
Yeah.
something that's killing us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's meant to be glorified and act like it's a wonderful thing that she's on there, but what's the deeper story behind it?
Mm-hmm.
Can I add on to that, Jazz? You
Yeah,
know,
definitely.
I remember one day I went over by I came over by y'all
Mhm.
when you was up in Harlem and you was doing research on the candles and the ingredients on the candles and you was the first to put me on to all these extra ingredients that they were putting in candles that really have no place there and that when it
Yes.
burns now you have all this extra chemistry going on that you don't know that's affecting your body, you know,
Absorbing. Mhm.
and
Exactly.
which drove you even more because I remember you was like, I don't use this, I don't use that, I'm not using
Yeah.
that, and you was breaking it all down to me, and you was probably like, I want to say maybe 13 or 14 at the time,
Sounds
you
about
know.
right.
Yep.
That
You know, and I
sounds
knew.
about right.
Yep,
But
because around that time is
yeah.
when you really started to say, I want to take this to another level. And that's
Mhm.
around the time I started really looking at real estate books and really started reading more and like, this is where we got to get to, you know, whatever
Mhm.
we hustling and doing, we got to invest this money somehow, you know.
Yup.
I want to jump into with something I remember is going to be about what we're talking about right now too, because I was having a conversation with my old man earlier, right? So sometimes, I have to, not sometimes, all the time, I let him make his point. And then I'll decide if I'm going to carry that conversation further or just say, oh, that's a good point. Right. But he said something today that made me say, I never thought about it that way. Right. So he goes like this. He says, Luck, because a friend of his had passed and we was watching the funeral on YouTube. So he said, Luck, he said, people like to say that death is a part of life. But he said, in his view, life is really a part of death, right? Because his logic on it is simple. It's like, yo, you born. They say people start dying from the time as they grow and grow and grow and get older and older and older, right? So I gave him that point. I said, all right, Dad, I hear you on that. All right, cool, cool. But you know what was roaming through my mind, really? I said, so, okay, if life is a part of death and not the other way around, right? Why do they spend so much time and energy into putting all these different chemicals and things in our foods that you don't even need to make that certain food? I mean, why is it that with bread, you see soy, sucrose, fructose, corn syrup? It's like,
Dextrose is
yeah, it's
endless.
like all the
Yellow
salt,
number
sodium,
5.
the high sodium. And
There's
this
an
is what they
ingredient that's like hair, like human hair, that I heard that they're putting in bread. There's a certain ingredient in there
well,
that
look at
you have
that.
to look out for.
Yeah.
Look at
Shoe
that.
glue.
I think everybody knows the answer to that.
Oh, we do. We do.
It's the ice
And
people
bread.
and the sun people. We've
Right.
always been a people who have been at one with nature. We had a harmonic balance. They've never had that. So for us to think that they're going to take, what is in nature and use that to create, we know the history. They don't know it. They don't understand it. So that's why they always seek to create through synthetic means, because they've always had to.
Yep. Yep. That part
That's
there
why
too.
you'll get a Shasta pop. Well, I'm from Rochester. We call it pop.
Yeah.
You get a Shasta pop, and it has all these ingredients in it. When you can go and get some sarsaparilla and get you some water, and soak the sarsaparilla, and then you can sweeten it with some hard cider to give you that, if you want that carbonated flavor, and there you go. Or you can throw some ginger in there, and you get that carbonated feel.
Right.
So we know that. We know little things like that. We grow up with stuff like that,
Right.
but they have not. They've always grown up with somehow thinking that they are the centerpiece of the universe and that they are the creators of a lot that happens in the universe. I mean, everywhere they go, they say that they're the ones, that God is them. They put themselves on money. So of course, everything is going to be centered around them. But since they don't know how to create, this is how they create.
Okay. Okay. And I'm looking at it as too that, with the thing my dad was saying, the way I would counter it at is that, hey, look, no, death is part of life because of the experiences that we are having in life. I could counter it and say, hey, look, if life was really truly a part of death in a certain sense, then they wouldn't spend so much time trying to get us through the food the way they are. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if we didn't have like the potential to live, I'm going to just say live an extremely long time, right? And the way this country operates, the longer you live, especially if you got a credible working career, and you're in for all the benefits that we're supposed to be getting when you retire and so forth, then it'll behoove them to like, hey, look, you know what? It benefits them for you to leave quicker out of this place versus you living past 100. You know what I'm saying? They'd rather see you exit at 55 or 57, 58 or 70, 75, you know what I mean? Versus 110, because they're going to just have to keep on paying it forward to you. And they don't want to do that crap, and I'm just sitting there like, to me, there's potential to live a very long lifespan on this planet, but these people, all these corporations and all these people owning them or whatever, they definitely, absolutely have found ways to shorten our lifespan. That's for sure.
Well,
Yeah.
I like to add on to that too. civilization has a history of that taking place anyway. To me, that's the nature of civilization. It's not the nature of nature. You know, if you really analyze it, civilization, every ancient civilization ceased to exist right now. The only people from ancient times that still exist are nature people, nature bound people who still live out in the so-called wilderness of the countries they live in. You look at the Twa in Africa, they're the oldest people. The Andamanese of India, oldest people. They still live off the land. They don't live in a civilization. And, these are people that are being forced by modern civilization, like people like ourselves, to cross over. And they say that's the land of death. That's the land of the devil. So civilization is really where people go like a hospital to transition. I don't use the word death because there is no death where there's energy, and energy is everywhere in abundance. So there is no death. That's a term that we've created to feel comfortability of some sort of what's to come after. People are scared of or developed a fear of the unknown, so they create terms to make themselves comfortable. But civilization is the hospice. Everything outside of civilization is life. And it's just proven the most all diseases start in civilizations. Look in I don't care what continent you go to, all of them that died rapidly, they all died in the bounds of civilization. And it was all the diseases stem from civilization, because civilization calls for a different type of living, which is artificial. This is why we all are dying off of artificial products. We make artificial products. How something starts is usually how it ends. And life, is in reflectance of what we think, because everything we see outside of us is our thoughts, and the people who we are allowing to run the show, they're wicked people by nature. So all they can do is produce wickedness, to a point, like I told my brother, they kill themselves. They're so wicked. They're extreme wicked. You got different. So in life, it's duality, right? Positive and negative charges, and in between that is life. It's electricity, right? But the electrical charge traveling from that positive to that negative is just like life. You got blue blacks all the way to white. You know what I'm saying? And everything in between. And that's life. You're gonna have good people and bad people and everything in between. And in America, we got sacked by bad people. And the way they sacked us in the Americas, they still doing the same exact thing. They use sugar. Because if you look up the first type of alcohol that was used on the indigenous people that they was trading with was apple cider. They used to take the sour apples of Europe, because apple is not indigenous to America. It's a European fruit that came off of quince. They created the apple. And in creating the apple, like anybody who ever messed around with crossing fruits, you when you get that good seed, you got to hold on to that, because through your experimentation, you're going to have some good ones and some bad ones, some dry fruit, you know what I'm saying? Until you get that proper one. So what they started doing was, when they was mass producing apples in Europe, they took all the sour trees and started bringing them into the Americas. And this is how they was making the apple cider. And it was giving it to the indigenous people knowingly that this is chemical warfare. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to break down the anatomy, which allows them now to become weakened on the inside, and the outside, entities can now enter their body and destroy them, which is going to be all the different types of parasites that we deal with right now. We either fighting off a fungus, a virus, um, um, it's usually fungus is going to be all the different mold type foods like bread, yeast, all of that. The sweet and sour the sweet and sour combination, which is going to create fermentation, which then we got the viruses, the endless amount. I mean, these
Jeez, brother.
people,
We building, man. We having a higher discussion, man. Y'all missing it. Y'all need
it's
to tap
crazy,
in.
man.
Leave a
It's
comment. Leave a. I love this show. We having a higher discussion tonight. Sister Jazz, talk to me. What we're in a health moment, and it seems like we're going to expand. So I'm going to expand as well. They say add on to the cipher. That's the way they say it around the way. So we're going to add on. When you make your candles, or you have an idea for your candles, are you making it with a specific? Well, I asked you this before, but so I'm gonna ask you again slightly differently. Um, Viewing our people and our people's needs, what we need as a people. We have many savage inequalities that we deal with, both economically, socially, health, consciously wise, all that stuff. What candles do you think, in what sense do you think that we need that would make us a healthier people that we don't get enough of? Because, like, if you be in the subway, you're going to get a certain scent. And if you're going to be near a construction site, you're going to get a certain scent. And like you said, it's either going to energize or deplete or what have you. In your journey of being a master candle maker, what sense do you think we don't get enough of and we should have more in our life of?
Definitely. So certain scents can be used for various purposes, like anything from you getting a mosquito bite. You can use certain oils and certain herbs combined to guard yourself against that on a physical level. And on a spiritual level, some of them have even deeper meanings than that. I'm real big on the herbs. I'm real big on using herbs to heal, using herbs um, to rid ourselves of pathogens and parasites and things like that. I'm real big on the cleansing and the detoxing. So I feel like that's important for everybody to do with what we be putting in our bodies, just out of a matter of convenience or a matter of unawareness or unintentionalness. So herbs like burdock root, things like that, that's gonna cleanse you from the inside and remove things like that. Wormwood, I think, is another one.
yeah,
I think is yellow duck.
yellow dock,
Yellow dock, yeah.
yeah.
Yep, yep. I know cause definitely like those herbs to cleanse and to also use like probiotics to build better gut health in that way. And then
And anybody else on that same question?
Uh,
Should we incorporate
hey,
other types of scents that can charge us up or motivate us or cleanse us or, you know, get the metals and the aluminums out of the body?
hey,
I like
Rebecca,
the
Yeah,
you think
lavender.
go ahead.
I
I
like
think oh there you
lavender
go.
and cameos that help, people sleep and help
mm-hmm.
get it there and makes it more relaxing for them. Because,
Mm-hmm.
I was big on lavender fragrances when my kids were coming up. But I'm like, nope, we're going to silence this, But
Yeah,
in the next couple
Yeah,
of minutes,
yeah.
exactly.
Sage
especially
is
he works
good.
at night too.
Yeah.
So,
Yes. Yeah.
so you can just have a little natural things. But that, bathing with that lavender scent around and just bringing them down to, okay, it's bedtime time. Yeah, those were really, good scents. That's the
I
Okay.
agree.
chamomile.
I agree. Yes, the
You,
lavender
you know
is
what?
very
And I
relaxing. I
think
use that for
to
my
cut in
son too.
real quick, I think Rebecca's having a little mic problem.
I
Oh, is
think
she? Okay.
Rebecca's mic is muted, maybe though. I
But
thought I
it's
saw
No,
it,
off
but
mute.
it's
on
off
my
mute now.
side it's open. On my
Yeah.
Yeah.
side it's open. I'm not sure what's
You,
going on her side. Are you?
Rebecca,
you,
let's hear
you
from you in the chat.
Yeah, maybe she could. I don't know if she's using a phone
you
or a
know what?
computer, but it's better to use a computer rather than a phone.
Oh, I put in my earpiece. My
Yeah, that helps too.
I think
yeah.
I'm the only one that get busy with the phone like that.
Me too. I'm on my phone now, but
My
I
phone,
put on my earpiece
I'm
because I
always on
know
my
the
phone.
All right,
mic.
y'all. Don't be phone shaming.
Um,
All right, y'all. iPhone people.
I
I
would
was gonna
say
say I'm on my
sage
computer
too.
because I got my
Sage is a
mic
good
up
one to
here.
burn.
Yes.
You know,
Yep.
sage is good for the nerves, calming of the nerves, things of that nature. You know, there was well, of course, the usuals like eucalyptus, peppermint.
Fire.
Peppermint is good just to burn like in your home. Like when you burn the peppermint, it makes the air like so much more easier to breathe and just lighter, you know. So I would suggest peppermint. I put the peppermint in like a little bit of water, and when you know you have the oil burners, but you put a little bit of water and drop a little bit of peppermint on there. Yeah, that's excellent. You know, lemon balm. You
Yes.
know, that's excellent. You know, that's even good for warding away insects, like you were saying. The citronella.
Yep.
You know, um, you know that's heavily used. Um, lemongrass. You
Lemongrass is
know,
heavy. When my
Yeah.
kids,
lemongrass is
yeah,
yeah.
when my kids are sick, lemongrass and eucalyptus is on deck.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Nice.
A good one for kids too is feverfew. Feverfew is a good tea to drink for kids. You
Yeah.
know, yeah, that's one. You know,
Yeah.
certain herbs you gotta wait until their body develop a little more. But feverfew is one of the ones that you could use. You know,
Yeah,
Okay.
fire,
yeah.
fire.
It's
So,
it's a lot of good stuff out there, man.
I didn't
You
know
know.
that we were gonna go this long, and I love the fact that we was having a higher discussion about health and relating it all to sense and relating it all to the all of the all. But we're coming to that point of the show where we're have to gonna do a part two of this show. We were gonna get into the hands-off protests, but we'll do that on Wednesday as well. So we'll do a part two on the hands-off protest. So there's some real deep stuff in there that we need to get through as a folk and as a culture and talk about and cultivate and find some answers for. So y'all please tune in on Hump Day when we get involved with that. I'm really happy we got to speak to you tonight, Sister Jazz. You got a dynamite thing going on. We wish you all the best. We
All the
wish you
best.
all the success. And anytime you have anything new and you just want to unveil it on the Real HD show, come through and we got you.
Yes.
Come
Thank you,
on
my
through.
brother. Thank you, my brothers and sisters.
Yeah,
I
of course.
appreciate y'all.
Anytime.
And I'll be back.
Yeah,
All
please
right.
do that.
Word.
And bring people, bring folks with you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Got a few people in mind.
Yeah, man, we getting ready to shut it down for now. Does anybody have anything in their communities, businesses, events, things that they want to unveil that they got going on with themselves? Now's the time before we get ready to sign off.
Well, I'll just mention really quick, this could be in your next segment, but I am a psychotherapist. So I treat depression, anxiety, stress, and a whole host of other mental health conditions. And I use a evidence-based practice and a holistic approach. But I'll be interested in being on your next show.
Oh,
Please,
we
yeah.
got you.
Hook that
So
up.
let's set this
He been
up. How
looking
about
for he
next
been looking for
Monday?
someone like you for a minute.
Yeah, how about next Monday? You could come
No.
on and you could participate in this right here.
Oh, perfect.
Yes,
Perfect.
yes.
Oh wow. Okay. Oh, that's dope. That's right on
I told you he
time.
been waiting. I told you he been waiting.
So we got you. Come
No.
through. Get with Luck and give him all your
Yep.
wares, your pictures, your demos, everything. Because we like to we like to present you the same way we presented Jazz with a whole rollout and of such. So we give you your proper due, and then even if you want to come up with something for us to talk about, something to have a Q&A about, that would be awesome.
I'm just starting.
Okay.
So I'm only on one platform right now, which is Psychology Today.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'm just getting myself out there. I'm connected to a few insurance companies, but I'm still waiting to get credentials with a few more. So I'm really very in the beginning of my psychotherapist private practice.
Okay. But we would still love to
Wonderful.
have you. Still love to explore what you're about. And,
Mm,
since you were on, the folks already know you. They already rocking with you. You just showed yourself to 250 people on another platform that's watching. And
yeah.
you come back through, and we're gonna have you the same way we have Jazz. So for everybody that was on the Real HD show, man, this was dope. We had about 130 on Twitch.
Mhm.
We had a bunch of people on Instagram. We all over Facebook. We love y'all, man, for tuning in and rocking with us. Y'all make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. Turn on all your notifications. So every time we have a Real HD show, you two can rock out with us and have a higher discussion. And for everybody that was on tonight, Jazz and all her wonderful family, everybody that was watching and rocking, putting comments, leaving comments, to all my daughter and all her Bama people, we want to tell
Nice.
y'all peace. Y'all walk with power, and y'all keep loving on each other. We're gonna be back on Wednesday to chop it up in a real way. All right, y'all. Good
Peace.
night.
Peace.
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 Peace. Y'all love on each other.